WKMTA,
the Westgate Kids Missions Training Agency,
where our mission is to know God and make Him known.
We do this by using the Bible, which is the book that points to God.
I'm Agent A.
And I'm Agent B.
And this is Agent Double B. Join us for today's training. We're looking forward to it.
See you guys later.
Congratulations! You have been accepted into the Mission Training Agency. Our agents are trained to know God and make Him known through prayer, worship, community, and by knowing their Bible. The Bible is the book that points to God. Through it, we see His plan for all of creation from beginning to end, and you are part of this plan. Before today's training starts, I encourage you to have a Bible on hand. Your training agents will be with you shortly. Welcome to Mission Training Agency.
Ooh, candy. Maybe just one piece. Oh man, I was not expecting it to be this hard to open. I just want some candy.
Oh, what do you mean?
I can't get that open.
You can't open it.
How about you give it a try? I bet you can.
Open it.
Yeah.
I can open it.
Let's see.
Oh my word, that's
It's
okay.
so
Okay, one sec.
Come on. Now, the more difficult this is, the more I want the candy.
Goodness, I'm really tempted to take this candy. One more try.
Okay, one more try. You can do it. You can do it. Go, 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 go.
Oh, goodness.
I was really hoping to see it, but it didn't even move. Like, didn't even turn a little bit.
You know what? I'm really struggling with this.
Oh, man.
I don't know if I can do it.
I think it's probably time for us to call Chief, and I think we should ask him what he does when he struggles, but let's not mention about the candy.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't mention about the candy at all.
I get to call him today. Woo!
Oh, okay.
Okay. You gonna keep working on that? Just don't let him
Maybe.
know.
I'll hide it.
All right.
Hello, agents.
Hey, Chief.
Oh, hey, Chief.
We have a question for you.
What is it?
What do you do when you struggle with something?
I am the chief. I don't have struggles.
Really?
No, I have struggles too. How I deal with them depends on what I'm struggling with.
Fair enough.
Could you give us an example?
If I'm struggling with a person, I use prayer. If I'm struggling with a task, I use worship to remind me how good God is. And if I am struggling with an item, say getting the lid off a jar with candy in it.
How do you know? How do you know that?
I've told you before, nothing happens in the agency without my knowing. My advice is to keep going and not give up. Speaking of not giving up, this ties in well with your mission for today.
What's a mission?
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to look into the story of Jacob.
Oh, I know the story of Jacob. This is going to be fun.
I want you to learn who he is, what was his part in God's plan, and what did he do when faced with struggles. Call me when you have completed the mission. Agents, trainees, good luck.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
Awesome. See you, Chief.
All right. So you said that the story of Jacob it's going to be easy.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, they obviously must have a great story for Jacob in the database. Like,
Oh, I think so. I mean, well,
let's see what Pastor Brett has put in there.
all right.
Let's go see.
Let's see. Okay.
Did you find
Jacob.
one?
All right. Last week was a little glitchy, so I'm going to put on some protective gear just in case the machine,
Okay, it's probably really smart. That's probably
Plugs
really
up.
smart to do that, huh?
Okay. Ready?
Okay.
See, and here it goes. Oh, looks pretty good. Wait.
What?
Whoa.
It's a kangaroo?
Am I seeing things? That's not database. That's videos of kangaroos.
No, Crazy Kangaroo has...
Oh, no. Oh, crazy kangaroo.
Crazy Kangaroo! Okay.
Why is he messing with us?
I don't know.
Why is he messing with the database? I was so looking forward to the story of Jacob.
So let's start off. So I guess we have to do the story of Jacob and look into the Bible for ourselves this week.
Okay. I mean, I think that's a good idea, because if we don't have the database, we still always have the Bible, and the Bible is the book that points to God. So I'm pretty okay.
Okay, should we go grab some Bibles? Okay.
I think so.
Let's go grab some Bibles. There's one right there. I'll go grab the one over here off the shelf.
I'm gonna go grab the candy.
Oh, I grabbed some things. Okay, we'll fix that later. We'll have Agent M fix that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What book is the story of Jacob found in? Do you remember?
Wait. Sorry. What was the question? Sorry. I'm trying to open the candy.
Oh, it's okay. In what book is the story of Jacob found in?
Ooh.
Quiz.
In the story of there is no book of Jacob. Story of Joshua. Nope, not Joshua. Not Numbers.
Hint. In the beginning.
Genesis?
Yes, in Genesis.
Oh.
And it's found in Genesis.
Okay, Genesis.
It starts actually way in chapter 20.
So the story of Jacob is after the story of Abraham, what we talked about last week, right?
Yes, so in fact, Jacob is Abraham's grandson.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
Abraham, he had a son named Isaac, the son that God had promised Abraham when he was 99 years old. And then he had Isaac, and Isaac grew up, and Isaac had a kid, and his name was Jacob. And in fact, Isaac had two kids. One name was Jacob, and the other's name was Esau.
Oh, so two kids, so they were brothers?
Yes, they were brothers. In fact, they were twins.
Ooh, twins. Now, Agent B, am I thinking this is like the first time we actually talk about twins in the Bible?
Yeah, it's the
That's pretty
first
cool.
time we even hear about twins in the Bible. It's actually the first time that we even, back in the history, that we hear about twins in the entire history of the world. And
ooh, that's cool. All right, so before we get too much into the story, the things we need to do, our mission for today is we need to know who Jacob is, what's his role in God's plan, and what was the last part of it?
Something about struggles.
Oh,
What did he struggle with?
What did he struggle with?
Okay, so I think first off,
I don't think he's struggling with a jar of candy.
we know that Jacob was Abraham's grandson. So that means that Jesus is one of Jacob's descendants too.
Ooh. Okay, yeah.
And so we know that Jacob, him and his family, they were blessed to be a blessing just like Abraham was, because that was God's covenant to Abraham, right?
It was.
And so now Jacob, here we have Jacob, blessed to be a blessing.
Okay, so this is really cool. But going back to, you said Jacob had a brother.
Yeah.
And they were twins. So did God have the same plan for both of them?
Well, no, actually, what happened was God spoke before they were born that the older will serve the younger. Yes, I know they're twins, but Esau was actually born just a few minutes before Jacob was.
Okay.
So Esau was
the older.
actually the older sibling, and God said that Esau would end up serving Jacob.
Whoa.
And in fact, their life is full between Jacob and Esau. They always fought, and they always struggled.
Imagine that. Two brothers fighting. I never heard that one before.
I know. I have two brothers, and we fight a lot sometimes, and we have a lot of disagreements too. And it's funny because in the beginning of his life, Jacob, in every single one of his arguments and struggles, he always gets out of them through one way. It's called deception.
Ooh.
He always lied. He always tricked his way out of getting in trouble.
Oh, no.
And in fact, his name, Jacob, even means deceiver.
So it's another one of those times where the name really kind of shows us who the person is.
Yeah.
So what could God do with someone who was known to be a deceiver? Yet you did talk about that God had a plan for the two brothers. Like he said what was going to happen. So there was a plan for them, but what could God do with someone who was in constant struggle and was known to be a deceiver?
I know. And so let's fast forward to there was an argument between Jacob and Esau about their inheritance and birthright. And it got so bad that Jacob ended up leaving home.
He left home.
He just left him. He left his mom, he left his dad, he left Esau, and just left.
Oh, man. Man, that'd have been quite the struggle to just get up and leave, because that's your support right there.
Yeah, and so he leaves everything he's ever known, and he leaves into the wilderness, and he gets to a place, and this one night he falls asleep. And do you remember what happens at this point of the story?
Oh, I do. I think, okay, so we have Jacob. We know then, as you say in the story, that Jacob, he was traveling, he's by himself, and if I remember correctly, he lays his head down on a rock and goes to sleep.
Been really comfortable. He used a rock as a pillow.
I mean, this thing isn't too bad, but it's smooth. But I can't imagine a rock that's like dirty and gross.
What happened when he was asleep?
Okay, I can pretend to be sleeping.
And so when he was sleeping, he ended up having a dream.
Ooh, like
and
a good
dream? In the dream, God appeared to him, and he was in the top of a large staircase. Looked at the staircase has got all the way up to heaven.
Really, like all the way up to heaven?
All the way up to the heaven, and God is at the top of the staircase. And he looks down at Jacob, and he says, Jacob, I am the Lord your God, the God of your grandfather Abraham.
Yeah.
And he says, the ground you are laying on belongs to your descendants. I'm giving it to you. Your descendants will be as numerous as the earth. And he begins to renew the same promise and the same covenant that he gave to Abraham, that you'd be blessed to be a blessing, that you'd have many descendants, that even kings would be to his descendants. He gave that same covenant and promised it to Jacob.
That's really cool to see Abraham's promise starting to come alive through his ancestors, or his descendants, not ancestors, and that Jacob got to see this blessing and gets to be a part of it. That's really cool. And as we know, kings came from that line. We have King David, and we have Jesus, the best king of all kings.
The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Jesus. And then we go next. He wakes up the next morning. He's like, this is holy ground. God has spoken to me here. So he built an altar to God over there, a memorial to God in that place. And then he prayed to God and he said, God, if you protect me, if you bring me on my journey, provide me food, and bring me safely back to my Father's house, I will follow you and obey you for all of my days.
So that would take a lot of trust, because as we know, Jacob is a deceiver, so he's probably not someone that's really inclined to trusting. And as we know, he left and thinking he's never going to be able to come back home. So that's a big deal for him to make a serious promise like that, that God, you take care of me, you bring me back home, I will serve you for the rest of my life. Like, that's a big deal.
And so fast forward in the story,
okay,
and way far, Jacob's been gone from home for a long time now. In fact, he has wives and he has kids, and he has like sheep, and he's actually kind of rich.
Cool. My question here is,
yes,
what's his relationship with his brother? Are they what's going on?
Well,
with that,
he hasn't seen his brother for years. Ever since he hasn't seen his brother, and at this point, Jacob decides, I need to go home. He needs to go home. So he starts to travel home. In fact, he's leaving because he deceived someone. And that person is trying to track Jacob down, and he's trying to take back everything that Jacob deceived him from. And so Jacob's actually running, and the only place he can think of running to is back home to the land he grew up in.
Ooh. I wonder if part of him was operating in that trust that God had provided him with family, with provisions. So maybe it was that final step of his trust that was like, you know what? I'm going to see if God's going to bring me home.
Yeah, and so what happens next in the story? He's traveling, he's running, and he's about to get home.
Okay.
They settle for a camp in the night, and they know the next day, he knows that he'll end up home the next day.
That's exciting.
And so what he does, he sleeps the night over there, and he ends up putting all the women and children at the front because he's afraid that Esau is going to kill him.
Oh, no.
He is so scared that Esau is going to go over. He's going to be so mad at Jacob for deceiving him. All those years ago, he's going to come against Jacob. And with all of Esau's armies, he's going to defeat Jacob, take him, put him in prison. You know, Jacob is scared, and so he goes. And as he walked up on the hill, a man appeared, and they started to wrestle with buddy, but okay, they started to wrestle with each other at first.
Oh, no.
Jacob didn't know who this person was. And at one point, they've been wrestling for hours and hours. At one point, the man touches Jacob's hip, and the hip comes out of his socket. It's dislocated.
Oh.
But even though that's painful.
No kidding.
And even now, he has a dislocated hip. He keeps on wrestling, and the point to where the man he's wrestling with says, Jacob, stop wrestling with me. Give up. It's almost daytime. Let's stop. And Jacob says, I will not give up, Lord, until
So
Jacob realized he wasn't just wrestling any old man, any person, any bandit. He was wrestling with God. And many people think that this is actually Jesus, who had come down miraculously and was wrestling with Jacob. And God says, the man says to Jacob, your name is no longer Jacob. It's no longer deceiver.
Jacob
Your
gets a name change?
Is Israel. And we all know Israel.
We know Israel.
Is a nation of Israel, the Israelites. Because you struggled with man. You struggled with God. You prevailed.
Whoa. That's awesome to see that. I mean, because we know Israel, but Jacob became Israel. He was no longer a deceiver. He was now an overcomer. He struggled and overcame his struggles.
He overcame.
Awesome.
He never gave up for hours and hours and hours. He wrestled with God himself.
That's so cool. Oh,
what?
I think
Skills test?
I think it's time.
Okay, let's see what Agent M has for us today.
Hi, agents. For today's skill testing, man, we struggle with something all the time. It's either our emotions, not getting something done, but I want you to practice something. In the silver suitcase, go and see if you can overcome a struggle today and see what happens, all right? Okay, let me see if I can.
All right, skills testing. Silver suitcase here. Let's see what it says.
Okay, what does it say in the silver suitcase? Are you ready? Okay.
Oh, wait.
Hold up a sec. Right here.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh.
It says,
There's only a note. Okay.
gather the plungers from the gadget lab and the targets from Agent Toaster. And you have 1 minute to complete this skills test.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, plungers and targets. We're doing a plunger flip. We're doing a plunger flip, guys.
Okay, let's go grab the plungers from the gadget lab. Okay, let's go.
Right. Let's get them.
Plungers. We have 1, 2, 3.
Toss.
2.
Toss.
3.
3.
4.
4.
5.
Okay.
And
5.
then Agent Toaster. Okay.
Agent Toaster. Okay. I think we're
Okay.
gonna need some room. Why don't you check out the targets?
Okay, let's go look for Agent Toaster here. Okay. Agent Toaster, go.
No! What?
The targets are gone. Okay,
What do we do? How do we
Okay.
do the plunger flip? How do we do our skills test if we don't have the targets? This is going to be
Okay.
a huge struggle.
You know
What do
what?
we do? What do we do?
I think we can do this. We can get
How?
different targets, makeshift targets. I think we have something in the back. Do you think? I'll go find it real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
I trust you. Oh man, I hope.
Oh,
I hope
got
you
it.
You got it.
Right here. Okay.
Okay. A little unorthodox,
So
but
we
it'll work.
flip it
'Kay.
onto the stools, and we have 1 minute to do so.
Okay.
Okay. Are you
1
ready?
minute. Okay. Woo. All right.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yes.
May the best agent win.
May the best agent win.
Oh,
3,
2,
2, 1. Go.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, so close. Okay. Oh,
so close.
Oh, so close.
How much time left? Ooh, we got a lot of time.
Okay. We can do
Oh,
this.
man.
Oh, I got one. Okay.
You
Keep on
got
going.
it. Okay. You got one.
Let's
I
see if
got
I
it.
can do
I got
it.
to see if I can do it,
Yeah,
too. No.
Oh,
You
so
almost
close.
got it.
Okay. Oh, I got 2. I got 2.
You got
okay, I got 2.
I need to do 3.
3.
No!
Okay, I'm on a roll. Okay.
Man!
Ready. 4. Oh.
No! You are the plunger king. I'm not going to deny it.
Oh, 5.
5.
Okay, let's see if we can get 10.
Darn, I almost got it.
Oh, no.
Ah!
Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay, 10 seconds. I got 5.
No!
Oh, no.
Man.
Okay. Oh,
no!
Oh, I got 6.
Oh, I got none.
Oh, you were really struggling during that.
I really was.
But just like Jacob, you never gave up.
It's true. You don't give up because you'll lose for sure if you don't give up. I was hoping for a comeback, but it didn't happen. You are the better agent in the skills test. You are the king of the plungers. I'm going to let you have that title.
Okay, thank you. Awesome. I'm just reminded of Jacob. My mind keeps going back to Jacob, even when he was hurt. That's a serious injury, is a dislocated hip.
No kidding. I mean, wrestling, that's hard enough as it is. Wrestling with an injury, even worse.
And know that he was wrestling with God, and it's Jesus, and he's wrestling, and he never gives up.
He never gives up. And we see that same promise he made to God when he woke up from his dream and the trust, we see him put that trust in God. He never once doubted what God did. And we do get to see in the Bible that he's allowed to go home, and his brother does not kill him.
In fact, Esau welcomes Jacob home.
Which, that's incredible, because that was such an impossible thing beforehand. And so to persevere through that struggle had such great reward. It's amazing.
And here's what it boils down to. It's one word. It's called one word. It's called faith.
Mm.
When you trust God, when you know he's going to bless you. Jacob knew that if I just hold in for a little while longer, I know God's good enough. God is faithful. I'm going to trust him that he will take care of me. Because through that whole journey, you go way back to the dream he had. He asked God, if you take care of me, I will follow you. Throughout Jacob's entire life, God was faithful in every journey, in every struggle. God was faithful. Even when Jacob messed up, even when he deceived, God was faithful. And Jacob learned, I can trust in God. And agents in training, you can trust in God as well. You can take it from me. I've experienced God's faithfulness in my life. You can, Agent A, right?
Mm-hmm.
God's faithfulness in your life, where God will never fail. And he has the best for you in mind.
It's true. I'm very inspired to not give up on opening up this candy jar.
Candy? What? Candy?
You said hold on, and I was like, oh,
how about
hold
this?
on.
What if we work together and we try open it? You get this
Okay.
side. Still can't get it.
All right. Well, let's maybe keep working on it. We probably should report back to Chief, because now we've got the mission done.
Yeah, I know. I got to rest my muscles too before I try again. You know, my
All right.
wrists are getting really sore. So let's call Chief.
Call Chief. Ugh, I don't like looking at the sign. Ugh. Okay. All right. Ready?
Hello, agents.
Hey, Chief.
What have you learned about Jacob?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of cool things. Jacob is another one of those people who had a name change. His name meant deceiver. God changed it to Israel because through various things, he struggled, but he overcame. And part of that was wrestling with God. I mean, he dislocated his hip. I mean, Agent B and Double B kind of acted out. It was pretty cool. You should have seen it. But it was just awesome to know that we can trust God and overcome our struggles. We have not overcome the candy jar struggle yet, though.
Yeah.
Trust in God will help you overcome any struggle. It may not open the lid off a jar for you, nor keep Crazy Kangaroo from taking your stuff, but not giving up on small difficulties will equip you better for bigger struggles. Good job, agents, especially overcoming the skills test difficulty. I look forward to next week. Oh, and my final advice for the jar is to bear with it.
Okay, Chief.
Okay, Chief.
Thanks.
Bear with it. I guess we'll keep on trying, you know.
All right. Bye, Chief. I am so impressed how Chief knows things. I mean, we didn't even have a chance to tell him Crazy Kangaroo stole our targets.
I know, it's...
But it is, today was really cool to, I mean, we still haven't gotten the candy.
It's literally, I don't even care about the candy anymore. I just want to be able to open the jar.
Overcome the jar.
Okay.
But if we keep pushing through and overcoming our struggles, we will one day have this jar open.
You know,
and have the
just
candy.
like Jacob we talked about today, and even like our trainees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if they persevere and they have trust in God, you know, God is faithful, and He will always come through for them.
And they can be overcomers. Now, trainees, overcoming struggles isn't something that necessarily just happens in one night. It takes perseverance, the willingness to keep pushing on till it happens. But the one thing you can know is putting your trust in God has an instant effect. It gives us peace to know our God is there. He is big, He is mighty, He is powerful, He is loving, and He's always there. So we just want to encourage you in any struggle you have, whether it's with friends, with homework, all these things, keep pushing on, because there's a reward afterwards of a life that's just wonderful. So we just encourage you with that. Let's wrap up this time, our training, with prayer and see if we can maybe come up with a solution for our jar. So, God, we give thanks to you today. I thank you for our trainees. I thank you for Chief. I thank you for the agents I get to work with, that we are part of a community, so we don't have to be alone, that we all have different struggles that we can overcome because you are with us. And I thank you for that. I ask that you would bless our trainees at home. We don't know what's going on in their lives, but you do. And so be with them, comfort them, guide them, give them joy, keep them safe. We just pray that blessing upon them and know that you will take care of them. We just thank you, God, and love you. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so I wonder if maybe we've just worn our arm muscles out and we need to take a break and come back to it. What do you think?
You know, yeah, I'm probably just going to go and, get, a massage and, and probably, drink some water and eat some food to refuel. So
that we have more room for the ability to have the candy, right?
Yes. Yeah, I can't give up, so I'm going to go and I'm going to refuel in order that we can get the candy. Okay,
right.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Ooh. What if I tried one more time? Nope. Can't do it.
Well, are you going to share any?